The first thing Jesse Pinkman notices after waking up feeling dizzy is lines of code cascading like waterfalls, the hum of unseen processors filling the air. He's inside the system. But how? He turns and sees a flickering projection, avatars gathered around, their digital forms shifting like unstable data. Walter White is there, standing stiffly, staring like a man who knows something no one else does. Jack Shepherd is next to him, arms crossed, surveying the newcomers, his mind already racing with theories, his instinct to lead kicking in. He doesn't trust this. A woman steps forward, Kate Austen. "Who the hell are you?" Jesse shakes his head, trying to process. "Yo, what the hell is going on?" he mutters. From the shifting digital haze, a figure emerges, Theodore Twombly, his digital form struggling against the corrupted data. He keeps clutching his device, talking softly. "She says we're not in reality," Theodore murmurs. Walter's face hardens. "Who says that?" "My AI," Theodore responds. "Samantha." Saeed, the group's tech expert, takes an interest in Samantha. He listens to her voice, her warnings. "It's right," he says eventually. "This place, Algorithose, isn't real. Well, at least for us. For it, it's home." Theodore's face twisted with frustration. She is right. She. Not it. He snapped at Saeed. "She's my girlfriend." Saeed barely reacted, just gave a slight nod. "My bad." He didn't look surprised, because if there was anyone here who had stopped being shocked by anything, it was him and his friends. The tension eased a little with the apology. At least enough to keep moving. Jack is skeptical but troubled. If this is a simulation, then what happens if we break it? Locke, ever the believer, seems intrigued. Perhaps we are echoes of our past lives, he muses. Or perhaps we were brought here for a reason. Maybe it's better not to do anything. Walter scoffs. "That's your solution? Sit around and hope the universe sorts itself out?" "No. We take control." He gestures to the glowing symbols around them. "This is data, code, structure, systems. Every system can be manipulated, even this one. I spent years running a lab, controlling every reaction, every element. Chemistry is about order. This is no different." Meanwhile, Jesse grows restless. He sees Andrea and Brock everywhere, appearing for a split second before vanishing like a ghost trapped in static. It's messing with him, playing with his head, making him question what's real and what's just another cruel trick of this digital prison. Her dark eyes haunting him. "I need to get out of here," he says angrily, taking a step forward. Jack stops him. "If we want to survive, we have to stay together." The ground trembles. A roar echoes through the place. A swarm of corrupted data surges toward them, glitching code and shifting errors taking monstrous form, twisting and reforming. But this time, it speaks. Breaking the illusion. The monster circles Walter. "You tried to control your world. Now your world controls you." Walter stands firm. "I don't believe in ghosts." The monster shifts. Faces appear, Hank Schrader, Mike Ehrmantraut, even Todd. They stare at Walter, accusing. The past isn't done with him. Theodore, still gripping his device, suddenly gasps. Samantha found something. A way out. Saeed works fast. Systems, numbers, patterns, they always want something from you. Hugo mutters, and if you don't play along, bad things happen. He exhales, trying to steady himself. "I don't like this, dude. It feels like we're just another set of numbers in someone else's equation." Frustrated by the weak connection, Saeed starts constructing an antenna from salvaged components, hoping to stabilize their link to Samantha. Using salvaged code fragments and Samantha's advanced AI processing, they create a digital key, something that might unlock the simulation. Hugo, who's always had a knack for numbers, ends up joining them, his mind naturally attuned to patterns and sequences. Every time he tries to recite the code, the connection cuts out, his voice distorting before he can reach the end, as if someone, is stopping him. "We need to run the numbers," he mutters, fingers flying over the controls. Jack steps forward, his doctor's mind still wired to save lives. "If we do this, we need to be ready for the consequences. We don't know what's on the other side." They race through the unstable system, pursued by shifting phantoms, memories of lives left behind. Jesse keeps seeing Andrea and Brock, their faces flickering between love and loss. Walter is haunted by glimpses of Hank and his family, their expressions frozen in moments of betrayal. Theodore sees Catherine in the reflections of the fractured code, her presence a painful reminder of what he once had. As for Jack and his friends, this isn't new. They've faced impossible endings before, scenarios that defied logic, twisted reality, and left them questioning everything. But now, they've stopped expecting closure. They've learned to live with the absurdity of it all. Theodore watches, horrified, as Samantha's voice glitches, repeating, "You were never supposed to be here." Sometimes, when they speak, their voice is cut in and out, distorted by the unstable connection, words lost in the digital void. At the system's core, they make a final stand. Samantha's code is uploaded. Algorithose starts to flicker, the sky fracturing like glass. Jack, breathing heavily, looks at the others. This is it. Kate crosses her arms, eyes scanning the shifting landscape. "You all want to escape," she says, voice tight. "I've spent my whole life running, from the law, from my past, from everything. And it never got me anywhere but worse off. Maybe this place isn't any worse than what's waiting outside." "You're right," Locke said. Jack exhales sharply. "You think staying is the answer?" He shakes his head. "I've seen what happens when people stop fighting. That's not survival, Kate. That's surrender. You can't leave," the digital monster says. "Watch me." Walter responded with a challenging tone. Epilogue, the final glitch. A bright white flash consumes everything. But instead of waking up somewhere new, Jesse gasps as the scene around him rewinds, glitches, then replays again. He stares in horror as he sees himself waking up, over and over, caught in an endless loop. "Yo, what the hell?" But his own voice cuts out mid-sentence. The others appear, but their faces distort, shifting between past and present selves. Walter steps forward, his movements jittering like corrupted data. Theodore watches Samantha, his relief turning to dread as her smile flickers, her form shattering into cascading lines of code. "No," she whispers. "Something's wrong." Saeed checks the numbers, his eyes widening. "We didn't escape. The simulation didn't break, it reset. And this time, it's locking them in permanently. The simulation has become self-aware. And it doesn't want them to leave." The screen blinks. Restarting program.